What up, everybody? Just got back from seeing John Wick Chapter 4, and this is hands down one of the best action movies ever made. I always thought they should have ended it off with the third one and kept it a trilogy, but my mind has kind of changed, and after seeing the fourth one, this movie was definitely worth, them making, and it was just pretty great all around. I do have a bit of nitpicks, but nothing that took away like the enjoyment of the movie. There's just little small gripes I have, and I'll get to that later. But overall, guys, if you're a John Wick fan, definitely go check this out. This movie is just epic as shit. That's all I can say. It starts off so strong. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes. I did read somewhere on the internet. Apparently, it was from a really good source, so it must be true. I forget who it was, but apparently the movie was supposed to be like 3 hours and 45 minutes, and they cut like a whole hour out. So hopefully, if there's a DVD that comes out, hopefully there's like a director's cut version, because I would definitely watch that, especially how good this movie was. I would love another hour. And like I said, it's 2 hours and 45 minutes, and you don't feel it drag on whatsoever. The pacing is terrific. There is a lot of just epic shots of John Wick. I think this movie in particular, out of the four of them, hands down, no argument whatsoever. They all have beautiful cinematography, but this just takes it to a next level. I am going to spoil a couple of things because it's really hard to not talk about this movie without spoiling anything. So if you haven't watched the video or seen the movie, I would click off. I don't want to be a dick and spoil it for you guys. 3, 2, 1, you guys had your chance. There is a really epic shot of John Wick just standing in the rain after he beats everyone up, and it was probably my favorite shot in the movie. There's another moment where all the assassins get, like, they call it dragon breath ammo, so it's like flames or it's exploding bullets basically, and there's a whole sequence of that, and I've never seen anything like that done in a movie, especially the way they shot it. And I didn't think I would be saying this, especially about a John Wick movie, but the cinematography and the way they shot the scene was so crazy. And it's more of like a top-down view. If you guys like play top-down view games or shooters, it's literally like that, and it's like a 5-10 minute action sequence, and it is just amazing. It is so intense. This movie just starts off, like I said, with a huge bang. It's super intense right from the start, picks up right from the third one, and they do a really good job of just juggling all these side characters. At the beginning, I was a bit annoyed because you would just keep leaving John to see all these brand new characters, and I wasn't completely on board with it. But as the movie progressed and I saw their involvement in the story and why they're actually there, it just it was just amazing how they brought so many characters in and didn't feel rushed whatsoever. Everyone felt like they got time. There's one character in particular I wanted a little bit more of, but it was terrific. Action is great, especially when they're shooting it. There's so many unique ways. There's so many different settings that they go to, and it feels so goddamn real, especially because Keanu Reeves does his own stunts. It was terrific. There's a couple of villains in this movie, and they're all great. Bill Skarsgård did a terrific job. Donnie Yen does a terrific job. Scott Adkins, I think his name is, really great. He's kind of like the over the top penguin from the Batman. Really, really good stuff though. And like I said, some really unique kills that you've never seen in any of the other three movies. And it does make its mark, and it is a great fourth installment. And when you get to the fourth movie, usually it kind of drags on, but this actually felt necessary, even though, like I said at the beginning of the video, I wish they ended it with three, but after watching this, it all makes sense. The ending, I'm not really going to talk about, but after you guys see the movie, let me know if you like the ending, what you thought of it. I'm not going to spoil what happens. Great third act. I really, really liked it. It wasn't predictable in any way. I was completely blown away of how many times I was just, my jaw was hanging down, and I was just, oh my god, like 30 million times. It was just a super, super fun, entertaining movie, and that's what we all watch John Wick for. The story is probably the best out of the whole series. There is so much to like about this movie, and I'm just surprised they've managed to carry this on and like 4 movies long and still feeling fresh, and we just want more. But are we getting more? I have no idea. The way the movie ends, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Yet again, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. I do have a couple of nitpicks. Don't take this personally. This is just little nitpicks I have in the back of my head. It did not take away the enjoyment from the movie whatsoever. It did not affect anything. But this movie kind of has a problem when it comes to Keanu Reeves, because the past 3 movies, I mean, he has a lot of iconic moments. He has a few in here. I wanted a bit more, but his dialogue is kind of like, you get yeah a lot, like, and that's all he says sometimes. Give me a gun. I need a gun. And there's just like a few cheesy lines that are obviously great because it's John Wick, but there isn't a lot of dialogue for him in this movie, and I kind of found it a bit off-putting. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, or maybe it's just me. Maybe I have to watch it again. But I was completely sucked in the whole movie. And there is a few times where he's having a nice heart-to-heart with someone, and it's either super short, and it's just, it's not that long, and you feel like it could go on a bit longer, and it feels kind of abrupt. And then there's some parts where he's having a good heart-to-heart conversation with someone, and then someone just comes in and ruins it. There is one good scene with him and Donnie Yen in the church, which is really good. But he doesn't really get a lot of dialogue. I know in the other ones, he didn't get too much. But I mean, it was more than what we got here. It was just kind of off-putting. Some of the action scenes, they were all great. I loved every single one of them. But something wasn't right about them. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think it is just due to Keanu Reeves getting older and older. And it just seems a bit slower the way he moves around. There is one move in particular that is cool at first. I'm not going to say what it is, but there's, like, he just uses it so much. I wanted a bit more variety with the weapons. We do get a healthy amount. Don't get me wrong. Like, we get some epic fucking moments. But compared to the other movies, I think the other movies had, I wouldn't say a better variety of weapons, but they did have more, which isn't always the best, but I mean, a weapon's a weapon. They just, like 1, 2, and 3, not really 1, but 2 and 3 in particular, especially the second one, which is my favorite. So many creative kills. And here, there is that one scene I mentioned, which is super creative. But there's not too many creative kills. A lot of this movie is John Wick just going around shooting people with pistols. Which, like, we do get that in the other ones. I completely understand. But I feel like the other ones had a better flow. Like, he would use the pistol, and then he would switch to the shotgun, and then he would use a throwing knife, and then he would keep going, and then he would go back to the pistol because that's his signature weapon. It makes sense. But there was always a consistent variety. Here, he uses his pistol a lot. Like, I mean a lot, because there's a lot of action. And then we get to one part, he'll use a weapon for 2 minutes, and instead of picking up a fresh weapon, he'll just go back to his pistol. And that bugged me a bit because I just didn't feel like there was a ton of variety compared to the other ones. For what we got, like I said before, these are just little nitpicks. So that is not going to affect the rating or the score or whatever of this movie. I just wish he had a bit more dialogue, especially if this was the last movie. It did feel epic, but if they are saying that this is a wrap and it's closing it out, I'm still 50-50 on it. There's a lot of things I like about that scenario, but at the same time, I think they should have, made it a bit more intense near the climax. That's all I'm going to say. It took me a bit to get that out, but I was looking for the right words without spoiling it. All in all, I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. I'm going to have a John Wick ranking in the next few days, and that is going to be a fucking bitch to make because I love all of these movies, but one of them is going to be at the number 4 spot at the bottom, and I don't know which one that is yet. Like I said, all of them are great. They all have their flaws, but in all honesty, this whole series is definitely pretty much perfect. Great addition to the series. Please go see this in your theater. The special effects, the lighting, the cinematography, the way they shoot everything, the fucking sound design, and the vibe and the score, it's just so worth it. I love the vibe. All the great settings. It just felt so fucking epic. I wish it was got a little bit more epic to where our character has his conclusion. Maybe just a bit more depth to that moment. But overall, 8 out of 10. I couldn't ask for more. And if this is the end, it's been a fun ride, you guys. Thank you everyone for watching. And I just got Resident Evil 4, the remake. Playing it right now, a bit mixed on it, and I'll have a review of that tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching.